The stars were silent, cold, unmoving. Below them, a blue-green planet spun slowly in the void. It looked peaceful. From this distance, no one could see the cities. No one could hear the screams. Inside the warship Devastator, everything was still, except for the hum of engines and the faint clicking of control panels. Kale Ren stood at his station, eyes fixed on the screen in front of him. His fingers hovered over the command keys. One press would begin the attack. He had done it before, dozens of times, but today felt different. Target locked, came the voice of a crew member. Calm, routine. Awaiting, final command, said another. Kale glanced across the bridge. Everyone looked focused, alert, no fear, no doubt. At the center of the room stood Admiral Threx Morrow, tall, sharp-eyed, with silver streaks in his hair, and a deep scar down one cheek. His hands were behind his back, posture straight. A commander who gave no second chances. He turned to Kale. Execute. Kale hesitated for a moment. Just a moment. He blinked, then pressed the button. The Devastator roared. From its belly, missiles launched into the dark. They streaked across space like fireflies, then disappeared into the atmosphere of the planet below. Seconds passed. Then the screen lit up. Explosions. Fire. Entire cities vanished in bright flashes. A cloud of smoke and ash spread across the surface. Primary targets destroyed, said a voice. Civilian sectors, asked Threx. Also eliminated. No life signs remaining. Silence fell over the bridge. Kale stared at the screen. The planet was breaking apart. Its surface cracked and glowing. It looked like a dying star. He felt something tight in his chest. He swallowed it. Mission complete, said Threx. We move to the next system at dawn. He walked off the bridge without another word. Kale remained at his station. He looked down at the control panel, then back at the screen. The planet was gone now, hidden beneath smoke and ruin. Then his console beeped softly. A new message had arrived. No sender ID, just a few words. Help us. Please. We have no weapons. Only children. Kale stared at it. His finger hovered over the delete key. He didn't press it. Kale sat alone in the dim glow of his quarters. The message was still on his screen. He read it again and again. Help us. Please. We have no weapons. Only children. It had arrived just minutes before the attack. He hadn't seen it until after. Too late to stop anything. Too late to matter. Or was it? He tapped a few keys, checking the signal's origin. It came from a small ship, not military. Civilian. The name read Hollow Light. No record of weapons. No shields. Just a transport vessel. And it was gone now. Kale leaned back, staring at the ceiling. The ship's engines rumbled through the floor. The Devastator was already moving toward its next target. He thought of the planet they had destroyed. He couldn't even remember its name, only that it was called a threat. Just like all the others. But those words in the message, only children. They echoed in his mind. The next morning, the mess hall was quiet. Officers spoke in hushed tones. Some laughed about the mission. Others didn't speak at all. Kale picked at his food, but he wasn't hungry. Hey Rin, a voice said. He looked up. Lieutenant Boren slid into the seat across from him. Young, loud, proud. Always eager to talk about kills and victories. Nice shot yesterday. Clean hit. Threx was impressed. Kale nodded. Thanks. You all right? You look like you didn't sleep. I didn't. Boren grinned. Don't think too hard, man. These planets bring it on themselves. If they follow orders, we don't torch them. Kale didn't reply. He just stood and walked away. Later in the comms room, Kale waited until the tech officer left for break. Then he moved quickly. He reopened the message from Hollow Light and searched for traces. Any return signal, any sign of survivors. Nothing. Then something blinked. Incoming signal. His heart jumped. It was weak, hidden behind layers of encryption. He decrypted it line by line carefully. After a minute, a voice came through. Soft, female, tired. This is Sarah Ven. I don't know if anyone will hear this. If you're on the warship, if you saw what happened. I'm asking for your help. Not to fight. Just to listen. Kale leaned closer. The signal was breaking, but he could hear her clearly. We had no weapons. We were trying to evacuate families. You didn't kill soldiers. You killed children. Please, if there's anyone out there who still feels something, talk to me. The message ended, then repeated. Kale sat in silence for a long time. Then he typed 3 words and hit send. I'm listening. Kale that night. Kale lay in bed, eyes open, listening to the hum of the ship. He wasn't sure what he had just done, but for the first time in years, he felt something stirring inside him. Not duty, not fear, doubt. Kale moved quickly through the ship's corridors. His boots echoed on the metal floor. Cameras followed him, but he kept his face calm. Just another officer doing his rounds. Inside, his thoughts raced. Sarah Venn had answered his message. Her reply came during the night, a quiet voice through a secure channel. She had spoken gently, like someone who had seen too much and still found the strength to care. I'm not your enemy, she had said. I just want people to know the truth. Kale needed that truth. He entered the data archive room. The door closed behind him with a soft hiss. Rows of screens lit up as he sat down. The Devastator recorded everything. Every mission, every strike, every kill. But most of it was hidden behind command access. Kale wasn't cleared for it, but he had learned things over time. Tricks, loopholes. He pulled up the last 5 missions. All were marked as successful neutralizations of hostile forces. He clicked on the mission to Polaris Viz, a jungle planet with high civilian population. The file claimed rebel fighters had taken over key cities. The warship had destroyed them. Kale opened the video feed from the attack. There were no fighters. The footage showed schools, homes, people running into the trees. Then fire. Bright, blinding fire. Kale felt sick. He watched another mission. This one to a desert colony. No visible weapons. No soldiers. Still, the Devastator had dropped bombs. He clicked through more files. The same pattern, planet after planet. Civilians labeled as rebels. Entire populations wiped out. He sat still for a long time. Then he heard her voice again. Through the secure channel. You're seeing it now, aren't you? Sarah asked. Kale didn't know how she knew. Maybe she guessed. Maybe she had spoken to others before. They lied to us, he said quietly. Yes, but they lie to everyone. Why? What do they want? Control, fear. If they burn enough worlds, no one dares to rise up. Kale clenched his fists. You said you were evacuating people. Where? There are still safe zones. Hidden moons, stations beyond the outer belt. We don't have weapons. Just ships and hope. That's all. Kale's voice was low. They'll find you eventually. Unless someone helps us stop them. Later that day, Admiral Threx called for a briefing. Kale stood among the officers as Threx addressed the room. Our next target is Cyros Nike. Intelligence says the rebels are gathering there. We strike in 72 hours. Kale stiffened. Cyros Nike was a farming planet. He had been there once. It had no military bases. No known rebel presence. He raised his hand. Sir, do we have visual confirmation? Threx looked at him with cold eyes. We have orders. That is enough. Kale lowered his hand. He said nothing more. But inside, something had changed. He wasn't just doubting now. He was planning. The countdown to the Cyros 9 strike had begun. 72 hours. Then another world would burn. Kale walked the ship's halls like a ghost, quiet and alert. His face stayed calm. But inside his mind was a storm. He couldn't let this happen. Not again. In the maintenance bay, Kale met with Relo, an old engineer he trusted. Relo was quiet, sharp, and knew the ship better than anyone. I need to disable the targeting system, Kale said. Relo frowned. That's treason. I know. If they catch you, they won't. Can you help or not? Relo sighed. He looked around, then leaned in. There's a hidden relay in Subdeck 9. You cut the feed there, they won't fire. How long will it stay down? 5 minutes, maybe 10. After that someone'll fix it. Kale nodded. That's all I need. Back in his quarters, Kale contacted Sarah. They're attacking Cyros 9 in 2 days. Sarah's face appeared on the screen, pale and worried. There are thousands there. Families, farmers. I can delay the strike, but you'll need to warn them. Move them. We're already trying. I'll get as many out as I can. She paused, then looked at him closely. You're risking everything. I know. Why? Kale's voice was quiet. Because someone has to. The next day, the bridge buzzed with energy. Officers moved fast. Data streams rolled across screens. Cyros 9 was in sight. Kale stood at his post. His heart pounded, but his face showed nothing. Threx entered, his long coat swaying. Prepare weapons. Kale glanced at the time. 20 minutes. He tapped into the system slowly, careful not to alert the others. He rerouted power from the main controls, then locked out the backup systems. Targeting locked, a tech officer announced. Begin countdown, Threx said. Kale slipped away. Down in Subdeck 9, it was dark and empty. Pipes hissed, lights flickered. Kale moved to the relay. Relo had mentioned. He opened the panel and pulled the core chip. The lights above flickered hard. A loud alarm began to wail. Targeting system offline. Back on the bridge, confusion spread. We lost lock. What happened to the system? Threx narrowed his eyes. Get it back. Now, Kale returned, pretending to check his console. Must be a power fault. I'll help engineering. Threx looked at him, silent, watching. Then he turned away. You have 10 minutes. Kale rushed back to Subdeck 9. He reinstalled the chip, but slower this time. Just enough delay. He messaged Sarah. Go. Now, she replied. Evacuating. Thank you. Kale was about to leave when the alarm changed tone. Intruder alert. Section 9. Kale froze, then a voice behind him. Step away from the panel. He turned. Commander Vale. Threx's security officer stood there with 2 armed guards. His eyes were cold. We've been watching you, Rin. Kale raised his hand slowly. You're making a mistake, he said. No, you did. The guards grabbed him. One punched him in the gut. He dropped to the floor. Everything went black. Later, Kale woke in a cold metal cell. His lip was bleeding. His hands were bound. Outside the bars, Threx stood waiting. You were a good officer, he said. Shame. Kale didn't answer. Threx stared at him. Do you think saving a few lives will stop this war? Kale looked up. Maybe not, but it's a start. Threx walked away, without another word. Kale sat on the cold metal bench in his cell. His head throbbed and his lip was swollen. He had no idea how long he'd been there. Biz hours maybe. Days. Footsteps echoed down the hall. The door opened with a sharp hiss. Admiral Threx entered, alone. He stood in front of the cell, hands behind his back, eyes calm and hard. You've caused a problem, Kale, he said. Kale didn't speak. You delayed the strike. Do you know how many rebels escaped because of that? Kale looked up, his voice quiet but steady. They weren't rebels. They were families. Threx's jaw tightened. We are not here to question orders. We are here to bring order to the galaxy. That requires strength. Strength doesn't mean killing the innocent. Threx unlocked the cell with a click and stepped inside. You're a good soldier, Kale. One of my best. I don't want to kill you. Kale stood slowly. Then let me go. Threx shook his head. No, I'm giving you a chance. Stay loyal. Help me finish this mission. The galaxy needs peace. We're the ones who will bring it. Kale stared at him. Peace built on fear isn't peace. Threx's face turned cold. Then you're no longer one of us. Kale moved fast. He slammed his shoulder into Threx, knocking him back against the wall. The Admiral stumbled. Kale grabbed the stun baton from his belt and hit him hard. Threx collapsed. Kale ran. Sirens blared through the ship. Red lights flashed across the walls. Crew members shouted and scattered. Kale sprinted down the corridor, his stolen baton in one hand, the other tapping into the wall panel. He needed to get to the hangar. He turned a corner and stopped. 2 guards blocked the hallway, rifles raised. "Stand down, Ren," one shouted. Kale ducked and threw the baton. It hit the first guard's helmet. He lunged forward, slamming the second guard into the wall. He grabbed a blaster and kept running. The hangar doors loomed ahead. Fighters and small shuttles lined the floor. Kale spotted one. An old transport ship, fast and lightly armored. Perfect. Alarms rang louder. Over the intercom, Threx's voice echoed. Weak but furious. Kale Ren is a traitor. Stop him at all costs. Kale powered up the shuttle. The engines roared to life. Just as he lifted off, the hangar doors began to close. Too late. Kale angled the ship and shot forward. The shuttle scraped the edge of the door as it burst into space. Outside, the stars were endless, dark and quiet. Kale sent a message. "Sura, it's done. I'm out." Her voice came through, breathless and relieved. "You're alive?" "Barely. There are people here who want to meet you. People who still believe in something better." Kale stared at the stars ahead. He didn't know what came next. But he knew one thing. He was never going back. Not to the Devastator. Not to silence. Not to blind obedience. From now on he would fight for something real. Kale's stolen shuttle drifted through the stars, running silent. He sat at the controls, watching distant light blink across the void. Behind him, the warship Devastator had vanished. No ships followed. No orders came through. He was free for now. A message flashed on his screen. Docking code accepted. Welcome to Haven Station. Kale exhaled and guided the shuttle toward a small hidden station tucked behind an asteroid field. It was old, patched with scrap metal, and barely held together. But it was alive. Lights glowed softly, and ships floated nearby like resting birds. This was where the survivors hid. Refugees. Fighters. Families who had lost everything. As Kale stepped out of the shuttle, he was met with silence. People stared. Some looked afraid. Others curious. Then a woman stepped forward. Saravan. She looked different in person. Tired, older than her voice sounded, but strong. She nodded once. "You made it." Kale nodded back. "Thanks to you. You risked everything. I couldn't stay." Sarah motioned for him to follow. They walked through the narrow halls of the station. People moved aside to let them pass. Children peeked out from behind corners. Some looked like the ones from the message Kale had first read. The message that started everything. Sarah stopped in a small control room. Maps of nearby systems blinked on screens. A dozen people worked at old terminals. "We've heard the news," she said. "The attack on Cyros Nike failed. The warship backed off. People are asking questions." Kale stared at the screen showing Cyros Nike. The planet was still there. Alive. "They'll come back," he said. "Threx won't let this slide." "We know, but now the galaxy knows someone said no. That matters." Kale looked at her. "What do you want from me?" Sarah smiled. "Just a little. We want you to help us fight. Not with weapons. With truth. You've seen their files. You know what they've done. You want me to expose them." "Yes. Show the galaxy what's really happening. Help us stop this war, not with destruction but with proof." Kale looked at the screens again. Faces, worlds, names of lost people. "I'll do it," he said. Sarah placed a hand on his shoulder. "Then let's begin." Weeks passed. Kale worked with the rebels, sending out messages to outer systems, hidden footage, target logs, voice records. Bit by bit, the truth spread. Other officers began to question orders. Some defected, some disappeared, but the spark had caught flame. The Devastator still flew, but now it was feared. Not just by the weak, but by its own. One night, Kale sat outside Haven Station floating in a repair pod. He stared at the stars, quiet and still. He thought about the lives lost, the voices silenced. He thought about the message that had changed everything. "Help us, please. We have no weapons. Only children." He hadn't saved them all, but he had saved some, and now he would keep going. No more silence, no more lies, just one truth at a time.